72 on the list, that means 2/3 of them don't make it on the list. That doesn't mean that I didn't have great meals at some of those restaurants. But
so do you have to sometimes
go
back and get like a second meal and be like,
oh,
that was great, but
definitely.
I had it when I was, in 2016. Like, were there
within the calendar year, I go everywhere.
How does that work?
There are places that I fully expect to be wonderful, and they go on the list, but I still go back and I eat there again in that calendar year to make sure that it's still on point. I mean, chefs change, and things change all the time. Staff changes, so then the service
stuff, like where you drop a napkin and do, like the movies, like. What is it, Chef with Bradley Cooper, where he's like, I know that clown's in here tonight. He's going to order half a bottle of wine. He's going to drop his napkin and see how long it takes to pick up.
Oh, my God,
crazy
no.
Stuff like that? Okay.
Again, I think maybe because I worked in restaurants. No, I know these guys are all working their asses off. I just want consistency, and I want a good experience, and I try to come in and I don't make reservations under my name. I try to just kind of go in like a regular guest, and, it's not always great. And sometimes
like Bill
I go back.
Mickelsen? Do you use the name like Bill Mickelsen?
No, I actually use like my high school girlfriends' names. So
what are some of your?
I'm not saying. That'd be crazy, Chris.
Like names like. Use your grandmother's. Like, if I give you a couple names, would you use the name Inez?
My grandma's name was Bertha.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm going to start using Bertha. Right.
Inez. No one's going to use that anymore. Give my grandmother a shout out. Maybe go to a restaurant.
I will. I promise.
Shoot me a message like, dude, Inez loved such and such restaurant last night. Like, fuck yes, she did.
So what's crazy is you're saying you might have like 90 restaurants on the list. So does this process, is this just year long? Like you're constantly?
All the time.
So when you release this.
Wait, I didn't hear that one.
You've already started again for next year?
Not technically. I mean, I'm still eating out all the time, and I'm thinking about these things, and I take pictures of everything. But in January, it starts officially. I start taking notes. I make ratings of every meal that I have, and really detailed notes so that So I write it in August, and it gets on newsstands at the end of September. So from, essentially January to August, I'm eating at all those places, and I don't remember every detail of every January meal, so I have all these notes, and it also helps because a lot of chefs want to talk about either, why they weren't on the list or what happened, and then I have... I can tell them exactly what happened at that meal.
So does hospitality play a big role in how you score some of these?
Definitely. It's food, hospitality, ambiance or environment or vibe, whatever you want to call it. Is the restaurant doing what it's supposed to do through the decor, through the noise level, through the music, through, because you're looking at the whole experience.
Right.
Like, where do you want to go? It's not just the food on the plate. It's all those things put together.
Yeah.
So do you have this is how I've pictured it, is you have like a scorecard and you have like an ambiance, a hospitality, maybe, and then the 3 courses or 4 courses or whatever you may have, and then, creative cocktails or wine, and you score them all out of 10 and you're like, they scored an 86, and you put 8. Is that how it works?
I do it out of 10, so it's usually like a 30 point, so 10 for food, 10 for hospitality, service, 10 for vibe. And then the thing is, with 90 restaurants or 73 restaurants, some of the numbers are the same, right? So that only gets you so far. So then you look at, okay, well, who did the best? And you think back to that meal, and I look at the pictures, and I maybe sometimes go back again. And, then you kind of got to go for that unquantifiable thing, that feeling. The wow factor, the feeling of, like, do I want to go back there? Would I send people from out of town there? Would I send, chefs there? There's always that thing that you can't quite put your finger on, and that's how you make the final decision, or how I do.
Question: is it a giveaway when
just raised your hand.
Take pictures of food, or do you just kind of
No, thank God, everyone does that.
Now? Okay.
Everyone does that now.
Was it more difficult? In 16, was there less hipster Instagrammers? So it's shit, it's a dead giveaway. I'm over here.
But not even 16. If this was 5 years ago, I'd probably look weird. But now everyone does it.
Though, to get it and be like. So you're like, damn, this, I don't even know what I'm eating here. But
No, that joke now that the chef comes out and says, was everything okay with the food? Because you didn't take any pictures of it. Yeah. That's the moment we're living in.
You would be weird if you were just writing.
It'd be strange, right?
Pictures.
And I don't do any notes or anything till I get home. I'm not sitting with a notebook at the table because that would be a little obvious.
So anonymity is a big thing in doing this in your job.
But not always possible.
Not always possible. Definitely not.
Is that where Callie comes in?
Well, and it's a small town, so now I know a lot of the chefs.
How many times were you like caught this year when they were
all
like,
the time.
"Oh, I think she's like
constantly
judging us"?
I mean, really though, if you think about it, the menu's not going to change when I walk in the door. The food is already mostly prepped. They just have to actually cook it. So if I am spotted and they figure out who I am, the service is hard to judge on then because they start to really make sure that you have the best service. So then I send Callie, or I send someone in my office. I send, my editorial director. I'll send someone from the photo team. Anybody.
You can send
go
us.
And eat. Right. I could send you guys now.
Podcast?
I mean, Chris, Kip, can you guys go to Morin and just have a meal and tell me what they did to you?
They're going to remember us. We're going to leave a very nice mark on this place.
When you say it's hard not to get caught, though, are you using the correct props? Like, do you have wigs?
No.
Hats?
I know, I should. On weekends, I like to wear a baseball cap, but
you should totally go in one day like a character from a movie or something and just sit down and just act bizarre.
Wigs are itchy. I tried to buy one for a costume recently. Like, I can't do it. No.
I got a wig guy.
All right, I'll talk to your wig guy.
Yeah,
but
you see, like, if you had that bright white hair and like a ball cap on it, and then maybe smoke a cigarette, they'll be like, Cruella DeVille's here. They would never think that it's Denise Mickelsen, not related to Phil.
Oh my god.
And question on this whole, like, on your ratings and stuff, do you ever just send your colleague there just to get their opinion to see how it matches with yours?
Definitely. Absolutely. And also I'll send, especially Callie, like, we need to check this place out. You go. Tell me if you think that I need to go. Essentially, so she can go before me, she can go after me. We have to divvy it up because there's still new restaurants to go to, and this isn't the only story we work on. We have 5 features a year. We have a eat and drink section every single issue. We have the internet.
Maybe a fourth person.
Oh my god! If I could hire 2 people tomorrow, and we would all still be super busy. Dan Brogan, I could hire 2 more people.
We're trying to take this podcast. We can't juggle too many things. We'll have to turn that down. All right, so everybody knows, don't forget, you can still find the magazines, but also pick up the every
it's
other month.
Online, too.
Yeah, it's online.
So it's online. So 5280.com, you can find the 25 best list all year long,
so let's
365.
talk about folks that aren't in the book. Places that Kip likes to eat. Like, I'm a dive food kind of place kind of guy. I want to kind of just pick your brain about, like, best meals, like pizza. Where's your go-to pizza place?
I love Blue Pan. It happens to be in Congress Park, but not just because it's in Congress Park. I absolutely love Blue Pan, but I also love Enzo's on East Colfax.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Delicious, and they do deliver, which is great. No, I love Enzo's.
I'm super lazy.
There's really great pizza in this town, but those are my top 2. Definitely my top 2.
And there's a small regional location bias, I feel, but I do put Blue Pan in my top 2, so we're kind of the
even
same.
when it was only over in Highland. It's just
and I was a
beyond.
Highland guy before I was back on this side. So,
gotcha.
And then I like Hop and Pie. I feel like they kind of create. I don't like a too creative pizza, and this is going to be really a sensitive conversation. But I like what they do with their pizzas, except for when they put fruit on a pizza. And I would like to know your stance about pineapple on pizzas.
Pineapple's not my choice, but I am pro fruit on pizza. For instance, Pizzeria Locale, has this fig prosciutto pie right now, and it is so delicious.
Kip and I had a discussion about that.
About fruit or about
figs specifically? Figs and prosciutto, the saltiness, the sweetness. And figs aren't overly sweet, and when you bake them, like...
My husband loves a pineapple. My husband orders the sweetie pie at Blue Pan. He gets the pineapple, ham thing.
That ruins a pizza.
To you. Let's all talk about food subjectivity. What could be more subjective than food? You don't like mayonnaise. I don't like eggs. And Chris doesn't
like meat Monday through Friday.
Right. Potato chips, I believe, is the thing. So, please. My mother would, probably push me in front of a train for a bag of chips. So,
Yeah, I just don't go and, I'm not that guy who's going to go to the grocery store and be like, I need to get a bag of potato chips today.
No, I hear you.
It's almost like it's like automatic. It's like just an accessory. Like, you grab it every time. You're like, well, I got to go at least get a bag of chips. And it doesn't matter what it goes with. It just pairs perfectly with everything. Are you high? Eat some. Are you drunk? Maybe eat some. Absorb some of the alcohol. Are you sober? Eat some before you drink.
What's your stance on popcorn? Is popcorn more your thing? No. I can tell by his face.
I don't like popcorn at home.
You're not a snacky guy, are you?
If we go to the movies, I'll eat popcorn. I'm not the biggest snack guy, but I love good sweets. Like I love desserts. And I love pie.
Gotcha.
So,
pie. Yeah.
So I'm there.
Super excited to make pie next week. Yep. All over it.
You have to put a picture of it on the internet so that people can.
I usually do.
Okay.
I usually do.
How are we to know that you made a pie?
Yeah. No, I usually do. I made. My neighbor had some amazing sour cherries this year. This past spring, we made some sour cherry pies that were to die for.
That's a good Thanksgiving pie.
I bet y'all's refrigerator looks dank as shit.
Well, there's a lot of takeout boxes in it because I bring home a lot of leftovers for my husband and my son.
That's awesome.
And there's a lot of beer in there. There's Colorado beer. At the moment, there's a ton of Colorado wine in my house because we're working on a wine story. Colorado wine is getting very, very good.
Is that
Jack Rabbit Hill?
Slope?
Oh, I love Jack Rabbit Hill.
Western Slope?
Oh, Lance. Yeah. Western Slope, but Four Corners, that's just Park. Boulder. We're making great wine.
Just up here, we know we spoke with Ray at the chili thing. Brothers over at our friends at Joy Wine and Spirits. Mm-hmm. What's that?
Ballasteri.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Ballasteri. Yeah. I just went there a couple weeks ago. What a nice place. You walk in, Birdie, the wife of the owner, took me on a tour. And again, I didn't say where I was from. I just walked in. I'm a normal visitor, whatever. She took me on a tour. She was showing me how they, put the corks in and put the wax on the bottle. She let me smell fermenting grapes in the tank. They're the nicest people, and the wines are great.
They invite, and we ran into old boy at the Joy chili thing. And he was like, "Come on up."
Yeah, no, it's
TV
great.
Or podcast or whatever the hell it is you do. You're more than welcome. So
very, very friendly little winery up there.
We're hitting on the wine scene.
We really are. We are starting to get. Vogue and Wine Enthusiasts both said in 2018 that Grand Valley, which is where Palisade is, and Grand Junction, emerging wine region to watch, not to miss, wine destination. Our wines are rating in the 90s right now. We're getting somewhere. We're getting somewhere really good.
It kind of has that Portland climate, or I guess Oregon kind of climate over there.
Well, there's a lot of similarities with Oregon, especially the valleys, Willamette. But then also we're so high. Our elevation is so high. We're really like Argentina and Mendoza and Chile. So we can grow some really cool things here. Cab Franc is actually really big here. Riesling as well. A lot of there's some interesting things, and nobody, we all want to eat local, and we all want to drink local beer, and we want to drink local spirits, but nobody gives love to Colorado wine. So this is my plea for everyone to please give it a chance. In February, we're going to have a whole feature on it. We'll tell you where to go. It'll be great.
Yep. So definitely tune in for that. I'm actually now. We're going to stop at a liquor store on the way home and grab an all-natural wine from Colorado.
On that note, Jack Rabbit Hill's Riesling is really good.
Phenomenal.
They're doing
phenomenal.
They're supporting a lot of good stuff.
He's an all-natural winemaker. He's completely biodynamic, first of all. So the way he grows his grapes is completely natural. The way he processes his wine, produces it, completely natural. No intervention, no sulfur, no nothing. And it makes wines that you've never tasted before. They're amazing.
So you heard it here, folks.
You got me hooked.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Now, if you see Jack Rabbit Hill farm wine anywhere,
get it.
Buy it, order it, get it.
Skip the $2 chuck next week.
Yep.
And splurge and get you a bottle of Jack Rabbit Hill.
It's worth it.
Wait, is it cheap like that?
No, you're going to spend probably maybe $20.
Okay.
But not always.
Yeah.
They're not all that expensive.
Do we want to give a tip to our favorite local? We're all about shout-outs for free. Who do we buy our wines from, our Colorado-based wines for our listeners?
Well, Mr. B's out at Stanley Marketplace has a great selection of Colorado wine. Truthfully, we had to hunt, though. There are not as many Colorado wines being sold in the area as there should be. But that new Total Wine and Spirits, they have every Colorado wine being made because they're huge. That's a really, really big spot. But Mr. B's is great. And what is the other? Divino is great, and
I don't know where
Argonaut.
Divino.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can get them at the big
and small.
Yep. Joy Wine and Spirits has them.
Okay, cool.
Our friends.
There you go.
I'm just letting our listeners know. People aren't tuned into your Kip's advice. I don't have any. I don't know where it is. So that's good. That's what we want to know.
Yeah.
So the fact that you get to go out and dine all the time, and you're going to these wineries and stuff, what's your slush fund with this thing? What
does that mean?
How bad does your expense report suck?
My expense reports. Yeah, they can be bad. They can be really bad. When I am not when things get quiet right after the 25 best kind of expense reports are done, it'll be several $100s just from eating. But when I'm in the middle of 25 best, it's thousands of dollars a month.
Can you charge booze or